Good afternoon. We are in Chicago, Illinois. I'm Jerry With, and you are?
Laurel Eiler.
And Laurel, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you were born and raised, and how you got hitched, and all those good things?
Certainly. I was born in a small town called Inglewood, Florida. It's on the west coast south of Tampa. And I grew up there and lived in Florida most of my life, and then moved to Nashville in '91. I met my husband Rich there. We've been married 22 years. We have 2 children. Our son Richard is in college. He's 21, and our daughter Sydney is 17. She's a senior in high school.
So when did you first hear about reporting?
Actually, it was not my first career. I had worked for the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and I was looking for a career change, and one of my best friends from high school was a court reporter. And she said that I would be good at that. And so I moved back in with my parents at the age of 28 and went to school full-time in Sarasota, Florida, and became a court reporter at that time.
How did getting involved in the intensive reporting program impact your family life?
Well, I was single at the time,
okay,
and I didn't have any encumbrance, which made it easy for me to focus. And I lived, ate, and breathed shorthand. And I actually set the record at my school. I graduated in 14 months, and I said poverty was an excellent motivator.
What personal and professional benefits have you derived from reporting?
Oh, it's just, I can never put into words how thankful I am for the career of reporting. And because I had done other things after graduating from college, I had a healthy respect for what it's like to work hard in school and get out, and then maybe not have your career be quite what you had hoped it was. And reporting was the first time as a freelancer I said I had to kill what I eat, and I could work as hard as I wanted and make as much money as I was willing to invest the time to do. And I've been rewarded financially and personally and professionally by this career in so many ways. I mean, I can never give back enough to reporting. It's been life-changing.
What has given you the most pride in being a reporter?
The most pride in being a reporter, probably passing my RPR. It was a big deal for me. My teacher beat NCRA into our little baby brains, and I joined as a student, and my goal was to pass the first RPR I took after graduation. And I actually almost passed it in school, but I passed it. And actually I passed it the day after my wedding.
Oh my God.
My
Wow.
husband and I got married by a swimming pool on a Friday night. And I said, well, we have to go home and go to bed because I'm taking the RPR tomorrow, and I've paid for it. And if I take it, my boss will give me a raise. So I went and took it and typed it up, and we went to Disney World for a little impromptu honeymoon.
Oh.
So I tell reporters no excuse for not taking the RPR.
You're not accepting any excuses. Historically, and if you've had the opportunity to look back on reporting and experiencing it, do you think there was a period of time that could be termed the golden era of reporting?
Probably before I got in it, darn it. I mean, Richard Sherman tells me about the days when he actually drove a Ferrari, and I never made enough money to drive a Ferrari. But seriously, you know, we did have a burgeoning development in the profession, and I think it really was the grand days, maybe in the 80s. I got in just on the very tail end of the heyday, and we still obviously have a thriving, healthy profession, but I think we're a little more isolated now. Computers, nobody has to go into an office anymore. People telecommute, and now we're more fragmented because we can do CART, we can do captioning. So we've just kind of become more diversified, and not just the freelance officials that we once were.
What are your greatest fears about the future of the profession?
You know, we've been fearful, or been taught to be fearful for so long, and I think that I don't embrace the Chicken Little attitude that the sky is falling. I guess my biggest concern is that we buy into what we're being told, that we're obsolete. We're, real time, breathe new life into our profession, and our ability to change and grow and take advantage of technology until they can replace the scribe, the person who can stand up and say, I was there and this is correct. I think that we're fine, but my biggest fear is that we will start to believe what some of these court administrators are telling us, that an adequate record is acceptable instead of an accurate record. And we have to remember that our job is as important as anyone's in that room, and very few people can do what we do.
Speaking of that, what qualities best describe the reporter or reporters you most admire or admired?
Oh my. Tenacity, intelligence. Some of my biggest heroes were such brilliant people, and their skills. I mean, when I watch Jack Bano write on a machine, or Ed Varallo, I mean, it's just, they're so intelligent and so skilled and just amazing with their craft, and they never quit learning. And they always improve themselves. The Ed can walk in 10 years later and sweep the speed contest is amazing.
Describe the life of a reporter 10 years from now.
10 years from now, we will probably do what we do even more quickly, because with the advent of auto briefing and artificial intelligence, we're getting cleaner and cleaner transcription. So we'll still work on computers, but they will be probably the size of this button. and we will get our work done more quickly and have more free time.
Other than the sheer force of technology, what has changed the most in the profession?
There are so many more women. I mean, truly, we took over the profession, and that is a huge change. There's a more casual atmosphere to reporting. And I think that in law in general, I mean, even when I first started practicing, there were certain judges in our court system that would not let anyone in the courtroom. A woman could not wear pants, and everyone had to wear a jacket. And now some people show up and I think they're stopping on their way to the pool. So I think we're a lot more casual.
Is there anything, do you think, the profession should have done differently looking back? And if so, what would that have been?
You know, I really think that for the most part we've made good decisions as a profession. There is the debate as to whether or not, when the ability to record first came out, whether we should have controlled that technology and embraced it and made it part of what we do. I think we made the right decision, but I think that we also have to remember that when things come along, if they will help us do our job better, we should embrace it. I mean, sort of a parallel example is my grandmother quilted by hand, but that was only because she didn't have a sewing machine. And so we need to embrace the technology as it comes along, and sometimes I think we've been a little change resistant.